Hi, my dear friends. Namaste, all of you. Hope you are all of good health. And today I came with a new topic, friends, that is how cement is manufactured. Let us go into the topic, friends. Friends, those who didn't subscribe till now, please subscribe to our channel. Press bell icon to get instant updates. That is first updates to you. And coming to the topic, what is cement? Cement may be broadly be described as a material possessing adhesive and cohesive properties and capable of bonding materials like stones, bricks, building blocks, etc. And next, manufacturing of Portland cement. Raw materials, friends. The raw materials for the manufacture of cement are calcareous materials, that is calcium, limestone, chalk, marl, etc., and argillaceous materials, that is such as clay, shale, slate, etc., and powdered coal or fuel oil, and finally gypsum, that is CSO4 2H2O. And the function of ingredients of cement. What is the functions of the ingredients? Let us see. The first mineral is lime. This is the principal constituent of cement, friends. Its proportion must be properly regulated. However, excess of lime reduces the strength of the cement because it makes the cement to expand and disintegrate, friends. On the other hand, the presence of lesser amount of lime than the required also reduces the strength of the cement and make it quick setting. Silica is very important, friends. It imparts strength to the cement. And alumina. And alumina makes the cement quick setting. Excess of alumina, however, weakens the cement. Calcium sulfate, that is also called as gypsum, helps to retard the setting action of the cement. It actually enhances the initial setting time of the cement, friends. And next, iron oxide. It provides color, strength, and hardness to the cement. And next, sulfur trioxide. In small proportions, friends, it is desirable. When present in small amount, it imparts soundness to the cement. However, its excess reduces the soundness of cement. And finally, alkalis, if present in excess, cause the cement efflorescent. And coming to manufacture of the Portland cement, friends, it involves the following steps. First one is mixing of the raw materials, and this can be either done by dry process or wet process. There are two methods for producing the cement, friends. What is dry process? Let us see what is dry process. The raw materials like limestone or chalk and clay or shale are crushed in gyratory crushers, and this is the peak of the gyratory crusher. This is the conical shaft inside the crusher. From the top of the hopper, the materials has been placed and into roughly 2 5 cm size pieces, friends. Then these are ground to fine powder by tube mills or ball mills. And this is the ball mills, friends. I'm showing the intersection of having the balls, and it is having the iron balls, friends. In this picture I'm showing that the green color balls is iron balls, and our material has to be dumped there. While rotating the friends, the ball each collide with each other. They will crush the stones which we are placing in that is limestone chalk, that will be crushed and make the powder, friends, and the finished product will be come out through the bottom hopper and it will be collected in the silos. And each separated powder ingredient is stored in the separate hopper, friends. Then powder materials are mixed in the required proportions to get the dry raw mix, and which is stored in storage bins, that is called silos, and kept ready to fed in the rotatory kiln. Raw materials are mixed in calculated proportions so that the average composition of the final product are as follows, friends. And this is the table showing that the component and the percentage range by mass, friends. That is lime, that is 60 to 69%, silica is 17 to 25%, and alumina, that is 3 to 8%, and iron oxide, that is 2 to 4%, and magnesium oxide 1 to 5%, sulfur trioxide 1 to 3%, and finally alkalis, that is 0.3 to 1.5%. And coming to wet process, friends, what is wet process? The calcareous raw materials are crushed, powdered, and stored in big storage tanks, that is called silos. The argillaceous materials such as clay is thoroughly mixed with water in wash mills to remove any adhering organic matter, etc. The base in washed clay is also stored, and the powdered limestone from silos and washed wet clay from basins are allowed to flow in a channel in the right proportions. From the channel, friends, the two raw materials are led into the grinding mills, where they are mixed intimately to form a paste that is called slurry. The slurry is led to a correcting basin where its chemical composition may be adjusted if necessary, and this slurry contains about 38 to 40% of the water, friends. The slurry is finally stored in storage tanks and kept ready for feeding into the rotary kiln. And next step, that is burning process, friends. Burning is usually done in a rotary kiln, which is a steel tube, friends, as shown in the figure. About 2.5 to 3 meter in diameter, friends, and length consists of 90 to 120 meters, friends, depending upon the capacity in length, and lined inside with refractory bricks, friends. The kiln is laid slightly inclined at the position gradient of 1 in 25 or 1 in 30. This rests on the roller bearings, friends. It is shown in the figure, which are supported on the column of masonry or concrete. The kiln is capable of rotating at 1 revolution per minute, friends, so that it will rotate slowly about its longitudinal axis, and burning fuel, usually coal or oil and air, are injected at the lower end, friends. The long hot flame is produced which heats the interior of the kiln up to a maximum temperature of about 1750 degrees centigrade, friends. And the process, coming to the process, the ramix or corrected slurry is injected into the kiln at its upper end, while the hot flames is forced into the kiln from the lower end. Due to the slow rotation of the kiln, the material fed in move continuously towards the hottest end at a speed of 15 meter per hour, friends. As the mixture or slurry gradually descends, the temperature rises. And what is the chemistry in this? Let us see. In the upper part of the kiln, where the temperature is around 400 degrees Celsius, most of the water in the slurry gets evaporated, and this zone is called drying zone. And second, in the central part of the kiln, when the temperature is around 1000 degrees centigrade, limestone and dry mix or slurry undergoes decomposition, friends, to form a quick lime, and carbon dioxide is emitted here, friends, and the latter escapes out. The material forms small lumps called nodules. This is called a calcination zone. Here, the calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3, that is limestone, will form as calcium plus carbon dioxide, that is CaO plus carbon dioxide, is liberated. And third, in the lower part of the kiln, the temperature is between 1500 to 1700 degrees, friends. Here, the most heat is liberated here only. Here, lime and clay undergo chemical reaction or fusion, yielding calcium aluminates and silicates. This is called clinkering zone, friends. Here, the final clinkers will form here only. Here, the reactions undergoes like this, friends. Please see. That is calcium plus 2CaO plus SiO2 gives rise to Ca2 SiO4, that is dicalcium silicate forms. First of all, dicalcium silicate will form, and next 3CaO plus SiO2, that is Ca3SiO2, that is tricalcium silicate. Here tricalcium silicate will form, and next 3CaO plus Al2O3. Here aluminates will combine with the calcium, friends, to form tricalcium aluminate, friends, that is C3A, and finally 4CO plus Al2O3 plus Fe2O3. Here aluminates and ferrites has been combined to form tricalcium aluminoferrite. This is the final product, friends. And the aluminates and the silicates of calcium then fuse together to form small hard grey stones called clinkers, friends. These clinkers are very hot, about 1000 degrees centigrade, friends. The rotary kiln at the base is provided with a small rotary kiln. As the clinker is very hot in the main kiln, these will be cooled in the small rotary kiln. In this, hot clinkers fall and cool air is admitted from the opposite direction, friends. And when the cool air passes through this, the clinker gets cooled, and air counter blast cools the clinker. And hot air so produced is used for burning powdered coal or oil. The cool clinkers are collected in small trolleys, friends. And here clinkers balls has been formed. And next process come to grinding. What is grinding? The cooled clinker are ground to a fine powder in bar mills or tube mills, friends. As shown in the figure, it is the bar mill, friends. During final grindings, a small quantity, that is 2 to 3%, this white color product is called gypsum, friends, and this powdered gypsum is added so that the resulting cement does not set very quickly. It retards the initial setting, friends. When it comes to contact with the water, gypsum thus acts as a retarding agent for early setting of cement. After the initial setting of cement, the cement and the water paste that becomes very stiff, friends, that is, it loses its plasticity. But gypsum retards the dissolution of C3A, tricalcium aluminate, by forming tricalcium sulfur aluminate, which is insoluble. And this reaction can be written as, friends, 3CaO plus Al2O3 x CaSO4 7H2O. Here, The tricalcium sulfoaluminate has been found, friends, that is insoluble in water. This results in the setting of the cement. In the formation of insoluble tricalcium aluminate provides two yearly formation of insoluble tricalcium aluminum. Formation of insoluble tricalcium sulfoaluminate prevents two yearly further reactions of setting and hardening, friends. And finally comes to packing. The grounded cement is stored in silos from which it is fed to automatic packing machines, friends. Here you can see the packing of the machines, and each bag usually contains 50 kg of cement, friends. And this is finally packed and transported to the various places, and each bag usually contains 50 kgs of cement, friends, and hence it is packed, it is transported to the construction sites. And finally the cement bag has been arrived, friends, and this is used for the construction of buildings, dams, bridges, and many more, friends. And this is the manufacturing process of the cement, friends, and this is my concept and explanation, friends. And if you like this video, please like, share to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe, friends, and stay tuned to our channel, friends. I will be back with an interesting topic. Till then, take care of you, friends. This is Harish signing off.